Hello, guys. My name is Desmond, and I welcome you to my lesson for today. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do allow me to say it is very much important that I say it is very, very much important because what I'm about to say it's massively, massive. Hey, massively important, ladies and gentlemen, that I say a day without learning something new, it's a day wasted. I so say, please, 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 please do make sure that by the end of each and every lesson that I conduct, you learn something new. Very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen. So that was me inviting my young sisters to be with us in this lesson. I'm pretty much sure that you guys remember very well that we call my ancestors young sisters. So, guys, quickly, let me try to work out this problem. Number one, I need to know the type. Number two, what do I need to know? I need to either work out the difference or the ratio. And lastly, that's when I'm going to look at the questions. Let's give it a try and see if you can quickly understand what I'm going to be doing here. So let's see. What type of a sequence is that? Let me reread the statement. It says the quadratic number pattern being that. Most importantly, is it copied correctly? I've got 4, I've got P, I've got 11, Q, 22. Yes. This is a quadratic number pattern. It is stated that it's a quadratic pattern. For that reason, I made a tick that I know the type. So now that I know the type, there is an additional information there which says has a constant second difference of 1, meaning what I'm about to do, it's actually the difference. Why the difference and not the ratio? Because this is a quadratic. So the difference that I'm talking about, it is that one of you saying that minus that. Obviously, it's P minus 4. That minus that is 11 minus P. That is the difference. That minus that, what is that? It's Q minus 11. And then lastly, you've got 22 minus Q. So those are the difference that I'm referring to. And remember, guys, this is what we call the first difference. So from the statement, they said the second difference is constant and it is actually 1. Can you guys see that I've ticked both of those? And I've also written all the information that I know regarding that. So now let's see. I think I'm ready to start trying the questions. The first question says, show that P is equals to 7 and Q is equals to 16. The reason why I'm encouraged to repeat this question is because when we consider the level of difficulty, you should fully understand this type of questions because it is most likely to come in your exams where it is given in a form of letters combined with numbers. So if you are in grade 12, you should be fully understanding all of those. Most importantly, this is not for grade 10s. You guys need to be aware that there's a live sciences lesson which is on, and starting from next week Monday, that's when I'll be doing a first lesson specifically looking at grade 10s. So that means if there's a grade 10 learner in this lesson who's not doing life sciences, you're welcome to stay. But on Monday, that's when we'll be focusing on your content in preparation for your upcoming test on Saturday. So let's see. The first question show that P is equals to 7 and Q is equals to 16. Let me just quickly check something there. Samkemzobe. Can you mute your mic, honorable member? Somewhere on your screen, there's a button which says mute. Let's see. 4.1. Obviously, I know very well that if you say this term minus that term, it's equals to that. So that's why I'm able to say actually 11 minus P, which is that. When you minus it with the previous term, it is equals to that. That's how you get the difference. Just like you said, this minus that, it's equals to that. This minus that, it's equals to that. Similarly, this minus that, it's equals to that. So that's why I'm going to say this minus. Most importantly, you put it inside the brackets. Why do you put it inside the brackets? It's because it's more than one term. P is a term, 4 is a term. So a term is separated by a sign of a plus or a minus. That is why you need to put it inside the brackets. So you can equate this to 1. Then you start solving. So let's see. Obviously, we have that as it is. Someone might be asking, why am I not putting which one? This inside brackets. Okay, there's no harm in doing that. So let me follow the rules that I'm setting. So now I'm putting it inside the brackets. Guys, I'm forced to mute some K from my side because let me mute her, but she won't be able to ask any questions, unfortunately. Okay, so now I'm having that inside the brackets. So that means I've got an invisible 1 there, which will do that by that, that by that. So that means we're having 11 minus P. When you do this by that, that by that, this, it becomes negative P, and then it makes that 4 to be positive 4, which is equals to 0. So what is 11 plus 4? I think that is 15. What is minus 1 minus 1? That is minus 2p, obviously plus 15 from those two equals to 1. So you want to take that to the other side so that you try by all means to remain with a p. So you're having that to the other side, it becomes negative 14. You divide by that on both sides, it cancels, then your p is equals to positive 7. So that is how you have shown that your P is equals to 7. Now, we do the same for Q. So obviously, if you say this term minus that term, it is going to be equals to 1. So let's see. It's more like you're having a, what is it? 22 minus Q. Maybe let me put it inside the brackets. Minus Q minus 11 close, it is equals to 1. Then you have an invisible 1, which makes it 22 minus Q. But because of that minus, when you say that by that, it makes it negative Q, makes that a positive 11, which is equals to 1. So now, let's see. You are having 22 minus 2Q, maybe plus 11, which is equals to 1. What is 2 plus 11? I think that is what is that? 33. Yes, plus 33, which is equals to 1. You're having negative 2q. You want to take that to the other side, and then it makes it negative 32. Then you want to divide both sides by negative 2 so that it cancels. Then you remain with what is that? I think it's 16. That cancels that into that. It goes 16 times. So can you guys see that we have just proven or shown that P is equals to 7 and then Q is equals to 16. I'm pretty much sure that you guys fully understand what I've done there, because I'm just repeating quickly what we have done yesterday. So I want to tell you guys something that I think I did not emphasize on yesterday's lesson. Suppose you failed to prove that indeed P is that and then Q is that. You still have an opportunity to just remove those and put in the values that they say they are. They are saying P is 7, they are saying Q is 16. So you can just put them there and fail to answer the first question, but still have an opportunity to answer the upcoming questions. So now let's try to then do the real difference using the actual numbers, because we have proven even if we failed, we're just going to use those exact values to form the real pattern in terms of numbers. So what is 7 minus that? I think that is 3. What is 17? No, 11 minus 7. I think that is 4. What is that minus that? It has to be 5. That minus that. What is it? Is it 6? I think so. So that when you say this minus that, it gives you 1. That minus that, it gives you 1. That minus that, it gives you 1. So that means even if you failed or you saw to prove that P is equals to that and that is equals to that, you can still take these values as they are and then you plug them there and then you derive that equation in terms of numbers. In that way, you will then answer upcoming questions. Guys, anyone who's got a question in relation to that? Or was all clear? Am I audible and can you guys clearly see there? I just need someone to confirm that one. Star, can you clearly hear me, honorable member?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, 100%. So now, I'm just going to quickly remove all of those. So now what I'm going to do is to try and move on to the next question. Guys, I'm about to tell you something very, very much important. This question which says determine the general term. The moment you see or hear the word general term and they make a noise by saying TN, I'm telling you guys, whatever that comes after, it's actually to say, give us that formula for that type of a pattern, of which the formula is in this format of that plus BN plus C. If it's an arithmetic or a linear and they say the general term and they say Tn, you know they want you to give it in a form of Tn is equals to A plus into n minus 1 close D. If it's geometric, they want it as Tn Ar whatever. So now it's in most cases whereby when they are talking about a quadratic number pattern, they just want you to give them the A, B, and C value. And most importantly, for you to do that, you just need only this, and that. Forget about everything. You just need this, that, and that. That's all that you need in order to derive that. Why? Because they said this value can be equated to 2a. That is why I'm going to say 2a is equals to 1. Again, this one, the formula says it's actually equals to, what is that? Is it 2a plus b, which is equal, no, I think it's 3a plus b. What is it, guys? It's 3a plus b, ne? Can someone just confirm which is equals
Yes,
to that?
it's 3a plus b. Yes.
Yes. So this one, Bantu Bakiti, it is A plus B plus C, which is equals to that. What is that? It's 4. I'm telling you guys, even when you get to varsity, the principle doesn't change. You only need that, and that. That's all that you need in order to derive a general formula. So let's see. Now you need to calculate the A value. You will always divide it by that 2. Then you take this value, substitute it there to calculate B. So that means you're going to say 3 into 1 over 2 plus B equals 3. Then what is that by that? That is 1.5. you take it. So it's more like you're having b, which is equals to 3. You take this to the other side. It's actually that. What was that? This is 1.5. 3 minus 1.5. What did we get? Because yesterday I tried to be ngondo and I got hammered. Let me not try to be ngondo and do it using a calculator. This is 3 over 2. So this is 3 over 2. So you take this 3 over 2 substitute. Okay, our A value we know it's half. What is our B value? We just calculated it now. Plus C is equals to 4. I'm telling you guys, this is half plus 1.5, which is equals to 2. Plus C is equals to 4. That means C, you take that to the other side, it is equals to 2. That's all that you need in order for you to be able to give the general formula. So you just need to plug in the A value, your B value, and your C value. So you just say Tn, it's equal, what is A? It's half, n squared. What is B? B is 3 over 2. Remember, it's not at all the times where your A, B, and C values are going to be positive. Sometimes you might find that your B value is negative, or your A value is negative, or your C value is negative, or a mix of those two signs. You just need to be careful that whatever that you do, you remember at all the times that you should take the signs into consideration. Molebogeng, this is what I'm about to tell you today. There is no number that doesn't have a sign. Every number has a sign of a positive or a negative. If you see a number being 5, just know there is a sign there which is invisible, and that sign is positive. If it's not positive, they are going to write it as negative and maybe say -4. So that is why if you get to a point where you've done a calculation and you are no longer sure what the sign is, just know that if you are having 2p, the sign is there but is hidden. It's an invisible positive. But if it's not positive, it's negative. And if it's negative, they are forced to write it as negative. So that means we only have a plus and a minus. Only those. If you go up with a plus, you come down with a minus. If you go right with a multiplication, the reverse sign of that is a division. That's how this sign goes. If you can check on a calculator, you have a multiplication and its division sign. Those are a pair. If you go up by multiplying, when you come down, or in reverse by that. If you go that direction by a plus, you come by a minus. So just always remember that, because what happens in maths is you tend to get confused in terms of which sign goes to which and what sign is which. That is why when you take a number to the other side, it changes a sign. And it's either you take it as a positive, it becomes a negative. You never take it to the other side as a multiplication, or you only do it with a plus and a minus sign. Then you remove what has been multiplied by a div. Okay, so let's see. Anyone who's got a question with that before I move on to the next question quickly? I actually want to get to the final question, but to do that, I need to prepare you from the first question so that you've got an idea of what's happening with this question. It is difficult. I understand why it is difficult. I'm pretty much sure that even if I was in high school trying to work out this problem, I wouldn't get it right without checking the memo. But after having a look at the memo and having a better understanding of what exactly happens there, that's when, if you do it multiple times, it ends up making sense. But today, I'm going to try and apply a different approach. But before I do that, anyone with a question on that one there, Bantu Bakiti?
No questions.
I had someone saying, no question, Your Honor. Okay. I'm going to then remove all of that. But before I do that, I think I'll need that formula. So let me just write it down there, maybe. Okay. How am I going to do this one? Let me remove all of that. Guys, just make sure that whatever that I write it correctly, because it happens that you copy something incorrectly and you keep on doing the same thing many times. Let's see, what was that? I think that was 2. Okay. I think I got it correctly. So now, let's see. 4.3. They say, determine the value of n if Tn is equals to 232. Also, this question, guys, determine determine n. So that means they want n if Tn is equals to that. So that means on that general formula, where you see Tn, you're going to substitute that. Where is Tn? Tn is that one there. So that is why I can just maybe start with the whole of that, which is 1 over 2 n squared plus 3 over 2 n plus 2 and equate it to 232. Because it is a quadratic equation, what makes it to be a quadratic equation is that I'm going to then rewrite that in a standard form. Plus 3 over 2 n. You take this to the other side. Can you see? It's 232, but you know that there is an invisible positive there. That is why when you take
Yes.
it to the other side, you say it changes the sign and it becomes a minus. So it's more like you're having that positive 2 minus 232, which makes it to
Yes.
be 230. But a negative value because you say 2 minus a bigger number. So you end up having negative 230, which is equals to 0. So the main aim of taking this to the other side is because I want it to be in the standard form where you have a positive a value, everything in that order of n squared, n, and then a number, everything has to be equated to 0. Today, I want to do it differently just to show you all the possible options that you can explore as far as mathematics is concerned. So that formula of quadratic formula, it doesn't mean you need to multiply by a common denominator in order to substitute on that on that formula. I'm going to use those fractions, even though you need to be very good in maths for you not to make mistakes. So let's see. You start with a fraction button. You say negative. What is b? B, I open a bracket. I say is 3 over 2. I close. I say a plus. I say square root. Open a bracket. 3 over 2. I square that and say minus 4 into 1 over 2. Close into negative 230. Close, I go to the bottom, I say 2 into 1 over 2. I close. It's equals to. Can you guys see? You are still getting that same value that we got yesterday being 20. So you can just say n. Because on the calculator is positive 20. Inside the brackets, you write it as negative 20. Then you know that finally you're going to have your n, which is equals to positive 20. So now you are going to go there and just change the sign. And then you put a minus there. Then can you guys see? I'm getting negative 23. So that means inside the brackets, you write it as positive 23. Then you know your answer is going to be n is equals to that, which is negative 23. So it's more like what is it? it's more like this formula, it only gives you the final answer. Then you need to be smart about it and work it in reverse to write the factors. And you know very well that the factors are allocated marks. So now, when you calculate n, you can never have two possible answers. You only have one answer. Minenhle, let me quickly explain something to you, honorable member. What we have just done there with that number, it's more like they said, determine the value of n if Tn is equals to 22. Can someone tell me what is the value of n for that pattern if Tn is equals to 22? Can someone tell me the value of n?
It is 20.
What did you say there?
It is 20, and the reason behind it is because n cannot be a negative number, a fraction, and a decimal.
Yes, that's correct, honorable member. You've actually answered my second question. But while you are still on the podium, honorable member, we know about the issue of electricity, but now we also want to know about the issue of water. So, Minister, you tell me, what is the value of n if Tn is equals to 22 for that number pattern?
It is 20. N is equal to 20.
Sorry, Hamisa, I was coughing there. Hey, ungathi ngidinga umthandazo bantu bakithi, bengisakhohlola. Hey, Hamisa, you've given us a political answer, honorable member. We need water. We need water. And I'm going to explain as a counselor the problem of our community. Maybe someone can dive in. This is now a question for all honorable members. On that number pattern, what is the value of n if Tn is equals to 22? Anyone who can tell? Okay, I'm going to explain it. And that's when you will understand why the last question is actually confusing. It's because you haven't done a lot whereby you are able to easily understand these questions or what they want when they ask a question this way. Listen very carefully, Bantu Bagit. What is n? N is the position, isn't it? N is the position whereby we know that term number 1 is equals to 4, term number 2 is equals to 7. Term 3 is that, term 4 is that, term 5 is that. What is term number 1? Term number 1 is 4. Term number 2 is 7. Term number 3, 11. Term number 4, 16.
16.
Term number 5,
22.
22. Yes. So now a question says what is n whereby Tn is equals to 22? So it's more like they're asking what term number is it
20. Term 20.
whereby the value is 22.
It's term 20.
Okay, let me answer this one. Then everyone is going to then have an understanding of how easy it is, but how tricky these questions may be. So, can you guys see that on that number pattern where Tn is 22, is it not term number 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means n is equals to 5, whereby Tn is equals to 22. I'm not sure if it makes sense, guys.
Can I ask something while you are there?
Yes.
Are we looking for the position where let's say our position is equals to 232? Is that what we are looking for?
Yeah, so you said something and I wanted to quickly interrupt because it was going to be quick. I think you said, are we looking for the position where the value of that term is 22?
Where the value of what we are looking for it's 232. That's what I'm asking. Is it
Oh,
that?
no.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe let me do this.
Are we looking for the
Let me do
number
this.
of terms that
We are
are
no
equal
longer
to
there.
20? Or
So we are no longer there. It's me asking to say what is n whereby Tn is equals to 22.
Okay.
So Molebogeng, you said something. You're saying, are we looking for the position where the value of that position is 22? Yes. What is that position number?
I'm saying it's T20, isn't it? Isn't it T20? Meaning, if we are counting from the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so the position there it's 20.
So that means no. So it's more like you're saying if we start counting and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, until we get to 20. It's more like you're saying at term number 20, the value is 22. And it's not 22
Yes.
at term number 20. It's going to be something else.
No,
Remember,
you know
guys.
what? I think I'm not understanding you. I thought you were saying term n, which is equals to 232. I thought that's what you were saying.
No. That's why
Okay.
I want to try and hide all of that. So I'm not talking
Okay.
about a 2, 3. Yeah, maybe let me change the number.
Okay.
So I'm no longer talking about a 2, 3, 2. For now, let's forget about this one. I just want to ask, what is the value of n in that pattern whereby Tn is equals to 11? What is the position or what is n whereby Tn is equals to 11 in that number pattern? So when they ask about n, it's either you see is term number 1 or number 2 or number 3 or number 4 or number 5 or number 6. What term number is it where
It's 3.
it's 11? Yes, it's term number 3. Yes, exactly that.
Yes.
So I just wanted you guys to be aware that when they want you to calculate n, they are actually referring to a position whereby on that position the value is going to be 11. So that means Tn, it's actually the number. Oh, wait. I think I might have stumbled. Let me try to say this, guys. It's more like This is the stand number. How many people are in stand number 3? Yeah, I think it could work, guys. Maybe if we can adopt this, it's going to make sense. So, yeah, guys, let's try to check if this could work. Maybe let me pick. Molebogeng, can we talk, honorable member?
Yes, we can talk.
Okay, let's say N represents the stand number. Nay.
Yes, yes.
And then Tn, it represents the number of people staying in that stand number. You tell
Okay.
me, how many people are staying in stand number 2?
In stand number 2, how many people are staying in stand number 7?
Yes, I think it could work, Bantu Bagiti. I think in this lesson, we are with my young sisters. I'm telling you guys, Voiswa, can you feel it, honorable member? I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's feeling it. So that means for our lessons, Bantu Bagiti, every time when I say we are now talking about the stand number, that means we're talking about N. The moment they talk about Tn, it means they're talking about the total number of people staying in that stand number. And I think it matches nicely because can we ever have a negative stand number, Bantu Bagiti? Never. Never, 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 never. Which is what Hamisa was saying, but using mathematical terms of Abo can never be less than decimal fraction and whatever. But to make it easy for us to remember, someone is saying something, guys. Who is that? Is it a question coming through?
Say, I want to know what I get 232. Nambiles
Yes.
after mokilare 1 over n 1 over 2 to n squared plus 3 over 2 to 2n is minus 230. You got 32 guy.
Kana remo okay. So bana 2 yene a ke re tšere raisha ka mo left, then eba 2 minus 232, then eba 230.
Thank
So that 2 there, we want to take everything to the left, re-equated to 0. So you took that to the left, and then it was all of that, then is positive 2 minus 232 equals to 0. So if you say 2 minus 232, it gives you negative 230, which is that one. Why one anomos? Matapel, usasekhona lapho. I think she said yes, but she forgot to unmute her mic. Let me just check someone here. Hamisa, do you understand this thing of stand numbers and how many people staying in that particular house? Mbali, does it make sense? Because
Yes.
I think we can speak to this thing, guys. I think it makes it easier. Let me then try to explain. Molebogeng, Maskulumi, would you agree that in stand number 20 is 232 people staying in there? Does it make sense now?
Yes, I agree.
And it's much clearer now and easy to interpret, isn't it?
Yes, because I took that 20 and substituted on our n squared n plus, yes, and then it gave me 232.
Yes. Just like if you would try to test if in stand number 1, 2, 3, if it's 11 people staying in that stand number, you would take 3 being the number, you plug it in that equation, then it's going to tell you how many people are staying in stand number 3. Yes.
Yes.
Mzozozo. Uyabona ukuthi sithole tamani lapha. Mzozozo. Angazi ukuthi igolide noma idamani noma iplatinum. Kodwa ungathi sithole into enkulu lapha. Mzozozo. Awuyazi ukuthi ngijabulile kanjani. Yandiswa. Hey, I couldn't hear you, Mzozozo, but I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's happy, guys. Yes. Ngijabulile ngoba I think it's much easier to explain. Let's try to test this on that last complicated question, just to try and interpret it. Yes. I think today we are with our young sisters, guys. I'm telling you, we stumbled some. So let's make sure that we still have that. And this lesson is being recorded, guys. So that means you still have an opportunity to try and come back to this lesson just to... Okay, let's see. What are they saying? If the sum of two consecutive terms in the pattern is 1,227, calculate the difference between these two terms. Let me try to make sense of this. Molebogeng, o sasekhona lapho singakhuluma.
Solid there.
Okay, so what this question says, they're saying if the sum of two consecutive terms, this statement alone, if the sum of two consecutive terms, it simply means the sum is add. They're just saying if you add this and that, and it gives you, let's see, if you take 7 and you add it with 7, it gives you a certain number, isn't it?
Yes.
So now on that question, they are not saying if you add stand number 2 and stand number 7. They are not telling you that. That is why I'm going to then remove it and say they're just saying if you take an unknown stand number and you add it with an unknown stand number, or if you take an unknown stand number with unknown number of people and you add that number of people with the next stand and they give you a 1,227. Now the question, they are not asking about what stand numbers are those. They are just saying calculate the difference between these two numbers. So now they want to know what is the difference between that number of people and that number of people. So this is the difference that they want. But now, would you agree with me, Molebogeng, that for you to know the value of that difference, you need to know how many people are staying in that stand number, and also how many people are staying in that stand number. Once you know, you're just going to subtract that number of people and that number of people, then this is the difference. That's what the question wants. But for that stand where it's 1,227 people staying, which is a stand way far, it might take you 2 weeks to add up to get to that stand number. That's why you somehow need to use that formula. I'm not sure, Molebogeng, if you're having some lighting ananyana regarding this question.
No, I hear you. I understand what you're saying. I don't have a question.
Even though it's just a bit tricky to solve it, but in terms of understanding what they want, you've got an idea. Ne?
Yes, I think
Chuma,
what they're saying is that...
I wanted to say, Chuma, mute your mic, honorable member. Okay, Molebogeng. Yes, you were saying something.
Yeah, I understand the question. It means for two consecutive terms, so it's 1,227.
Yes.
I understand.
Yes.
Yes.
And then now The question what they want is so it's more like you in this 10 number, it's a certain number. On the next 10 number, it's a certain number of people. And that number of people, when added together, they add up to that number. So now the question, it wants to know what is the difference between those number of people. So that means for you to answer that question, you need to know how many people are staying in there and how
In
many
that
people are
house, yeah.
staying in there. Then you're going to calculate the difference. Then that's how you answer that question. So now let me answer that question. You can now mute your mic, honorable member. So I'm going to try and answer that question. But this is what I'm going to do. Remember, our general formula is Tn, which is equals to what? It's actually half n squared plus, is it 3 over 2n plus 2? Yes, this is the... So the problem with this question is that already you are having a very complicated formula, and a question itself also, it's a bit... I'm not sure whether to say tricky or complicated, but let's say both. So now... I'm not sure if you guys agree that we are going to say 1 over 2. Remember, this formula is not for calculating a the stand number, but this formula is for calculating the number of people staying in that stand number. Yes, this one, n, is for calculating the stand number, but this one is for calculating how many people are staying in that stand number. So what I'm doing, Moleboheng, it's more like I'm saying the number of people staying in this stand number. This is what I'm writing now. Not necessarily that stand number, but that one there, which I don't know anything about. So that is why I'm saying half n squared plus what is it? 3 over 2n plus 2. Here, I'm just saying the number of people staying in this stand number, which is a number whatever. Do you guys agree that the stand number, which is next to this stand number, do you guys agree that it is actually n plus 1? Why? Because if the previous stand number is 1, the next stand number is 2, which is that 1 plus 2. The next number, if this stand number is stand number 2, do you guys agree that the next stand number is just this plus 1, which is 3? If this stand number is stand number 4, do you guys agree that the next stand number, you just add 1 from whatever the stand number is? That is why I'm saying the first stand number is just n, and then the next stand number is actually n plus 1. That is why I'm going to say this first stand number, I'm going to add that number of people with for the next stand number, and then I know they said that equal to 1,200 and that. So that is why I'm saying I'm taking this as it is for this stand number. Then I'm going to then add it with the next stand number, meaning where I see n, I'm going to substitute n plus 1. And then what's next? It's actually plus 3 over 2 into. Then it's n plus 1. And then plus that 2 close. It's equals to 1227. Yes, I think it's still a bit complicated. But I'm not sure if you are having some light today as compared to yesterday, guys. Can someone say something? Those who attended the lesson yesterday, do you guys have an idea of what I'm hoping to achieve there? Or is it still not making sense?
It makes sense.
I think it's better today. Let me maybe try to continue. And then towards the end, that's when you might fully understand what gaan aan. So, can you guys see that after formulating that, you then now need to calculate? Let's try to calculate and then we'll see how far we can go. So, let's see. Obviously, we have invisible one there. It doesn't change anything. That remains as it is. So that means I'm having half n squared plus 3 over 2n plus 2. Also, this plus, it doesn't change anything. But you need to be careful of something. Can you see this is 2 of the same? So that means you actually have half into 2 of the same thing, which is n plus 1. But this one, you can say this times that times that. But here, you can't say half times inside because of that squared. That is why you need to say 2 of the same thing first. And then plus, this is where you say that by the, it doesn't change. 3 over 2 times n is 3 over 2n. And then when you get to 1, 1 doesn't change anything. That is why it remains as that. Then you have that 2 there, which is equals to 1, 2, 2, 7. So that's how you've removed the brackets where you can. Let's see if we can further simplify this. We have to. So let's see. I think in terms of n squared, we only have that one, which is half n squared. But can you guys see that we have 3 over 2n that we can add with that 3 over 2n? What is 1.5? This is 1.5 plus 1.5. I think it's 3. Is it not 3, guys? Then we have 3n. Then again, we do have some numbers. Can you guys see that we have 2 that we can plus it with 3 over 2 that we can plus it with a 2 there. So what is that? I'm not sure if you guys can see. I think it's 5. No, it's not. Maybe it's 5.5. Let's see, because it's 2, which is that 2 plus that 2, plus 3 over 2, 3 over 2. Yes, it's 5.5, which is 11 over 2. It can be written as 11 over 2. But remember, we still have this thing that we need to work it out. So that means we're having half, then we have that by that, which is what? N squared. That by that is going to be n, that by that is going to be n, it makes it to be 2n. Then that by that is equals to 1. Then you close. Remember, you still have that 1227. Maybe let's take it to the other side and then it changes the sign. It becomes minus 1227 so that we equate it to 0. We are actually trying to get to a point where we factorize. Someone might be lost in terms of the calculation of that, but let me not wait and continue with this momentum and get to somewhere. Then we'll discuss everything afterwards. So now let's see. Remember, what you can do at this stage, you can still rewrite that as it is because you only want to remove those brackets. So you still have 3n there, you write it as 3n. Maybe let's work out this 2. Can you see 11 over 2 and that 1227? Let's try to work that out. Let's see. I think we end up having, let's see, what is that? This is 11 over 2 minus 1227. 1227. Then you end up having it's a negative value being 2443 over 2. Sure, it's getting complicated now. And then now you need to work out that to remove that by that by that by that. So that means you're going to have plus a positive half n squared, that times that. It's more like 2 divided by 2. It becomes 1n, and then that by that, it becomes what? A half. Because anything that you multiply by 1 is that anything. So let's try to further simplify this if it can be simplifiable. So can you guys see that you have half n squared plus half n squared? It's more like half plus half is 1 most. Half year log 4 plus half year log 4 get log. So that is why I'm having log squared there. So I'm done with those. So let's see. Here I'm having that and also that. So 3 log plus a log, it's actually equals to 4 lophos. So now I'm having negative 2443 over 2 that you must plus it with half. I still have it there. I'm just going to say plus 1 over 2. It gives me negative 1221, which is then equals to 0. So now I'm going to Bantu Bagiti. I'm going to factorize because this is now in the standard form. Anyone who's got the factors, guys, if you don't, you know what is the solution. Let's see. Over negative, what is our b? It's 4 plus square root of 4 squared minus 4 ac 1 2 2 1 close over 2 into a being 1. I'm getting 33. You know you write it as negative 33. Then I'm going to change a sign to a minus. This is where this formula comes in, where values are big. Now I'm getting negative 37, but you know very well that here you write it as positive 37. So that means n, the first possible value is negative 37, and then or n, it's equals to 33. We just said there's no way we can have a stand number of a negative. Then we cross that to say n can never be that. But this is that stand number. This is that stand number. So now the question did not ask about the stand number, but you had to go via the stand number. So now you know that there is stand number, what is it? Stand number 33. Obviously, what will this stand number be? Is there anyone who can tell what will this stand number be? Hmm?
4.
Yes, stand number 34. After stand number 33, you remember, guys, we said this stand number is stand number n, and this one, this next one, is stand number n plus 1. So obviously, this is stand number 33. The next one is going to be 33 plus 1, which is stand number 34. The question, however, said, what is the difference of the number of people staying in there and there? What is the difference? Now, you tell me, what is the number of people staying in stand number 33, and what is the number of people staying in stand number 34? So what the question wants is that what is the value of total number of people staying in stand number 34 minus total number of people staying in stand number 3? That is what the question wants. That is why I'm saying if we can then know this number and that number, we just plug it there and then we get an answer. So do you guys know how are you going to know how many people are staying in there and how many people are staying in there? Do you guys know how you will work that out?
Oh, sir.
So you use the formula. Remember this formula of Tn. We use it to know this T for us. We say it is the formula that tells us the total number of people staying in that stand number. So the formula is this 2n, 1 over 2n squared plus 3 over 2n plus 2. This is the formula to tell how many people are staying in a particular stand number. So can you see Mzozozo? If you substitute 33 where you see n on that formula, it's going to give you the total number of people staying in stand number 33. Then you do the same for stand number 34. Then you just subtract those two. But before we even do, we are also going to confirm if indeed stand number 33, the number of people staying in stand number 33 plus the number of people staying in that stand number 34, they give 1227. We'll confirm that. Once it's confirmed, we then get the difference. Then it's done. I think this question deserved 150, guys. That 5 marks is very, very small for this much work. I think they should just give you 150. Then you get 100%. Molebogeng, are you having some lighting ananyana there? Because I know you were there on yesterday's question.
No, I'm happy, but I wanted to ask something. Just the way where
On
you
the
are right now.
calculation.
More, yeah.
More guy.
Anyhow, to say negative 37 and negative 33.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
Okay, no, that's okay. Check more.
So it's more like it's highly possible that you might get two positive values. The other one has to be something else, and the other one is to make sense. Then you know that other one, which is positive, is the one which is a stand number. We can't have negative stand number. That one is confirmed. Everyone gets it, most Ayandam Kizi. I'm sure everyone gets that part. But now, what is the total number of people staying in stand number 33? Are you guys still calculating there?
Confirming it. I'm reconfirming it.
Hey, okay, someone is trying to confirm, but also, guys, give me some numbers so that I can also try to confirm. What is the number of people staying in there? Okay, it's fine. While you guys are still busy calculating, let me quickly get my power bank. I think I'm running out of battery. But you can, for now, just calculate for both, confirm, and then you can even take it further by trying to work out that. I think I'll also get something to drink here, just to thank my young sisters, guys. I think we stumbled something very much. Guys, let me just quickly get my young sisters a drink. You guys, that, and also that. I'll be back just now. Lwandle lakaNkulunkulu simtholile uJesu, siyamusa uJesu, simtholile noma sisamfuna futhi. Kwenze njani lapho? Koketso Jane, I see Koketso Jane there. Koketso usasekhona lapho.
It's 596.
Someone is saying it's 596. Which one is 596? Which stand number?
596 is 33. It's 33, and the 34 one is 63. It's 631.
631. Guys, do you guys agree that in stand number 33 we are having this number of people?
Yes.
Yes, is right.
And then this one,
It is
Yes, sir.
also correct.
okay. Then in that case, it means we can now answer the question. What the question wants is the difference of the number of people staying in those two stands, of which when you add those two stands, they give you a 1227. So what is that number? 631 minus 596.
35. 35.
What is it?
35. 35.
35. So that 35, it's exactly what examiner wanted in order for you to get 5 marks. Yes, I think this examiner, he was very angry, I'm telling you. This one, he was very, very angry. I think, guys, I'm about to conclude today's lesson. There's an event that I'm going to be doing on Facebook. It's a Facebook Live where I'm going to be doing a mini lesson there. So if you've got a chance, 19:30, I'll be starting. But it's obviously something that you know. It's just for the purpose of making others aware that I do some lessons. So anyone who's got a question, it could be there, it could be here, it could be just a comment, just to add on to what we were saying. It could be you asking just to try and confirm if you understand the number of stand and the number of people staying in that stand. I think this thing is the key, Bantu Bakiti. We might need to quickly run through a last question, maybe tomorrow or whenever. Let's just say before you guys write your test on this, just to test this thing of a number of stands and the number of people, just to go through questions to check and say if they are asking this question in this way, are they asking about the number of people or are they asking about the stand number? I think it's going to be a very interesting exercise that we do. Even if we go through the questions that we have already done, it's just a matter of us discussing the questions. I'm telling you, towards exams, if you can master this chapter that way, towards exams, you won't bother yourself having to rewrite all of this. You'll just be looking at a question paper and say, this is what we are given. What type of that pattern is it? Then you know. If it's arithmetic, okay, arithmetic or linear, you only have one common difference. And then from there, you know that, okay, if it's one common difference, you just say this minus that minus that, then everything is the same. Now you look at the questions. Then you say, if they are asking about this, they are actually, if they say Tn, it's more like they want a formula that can be used to know how many people are staying in a certain stand number. I'm telling you, after they've instructed you to determine that general formula, then they are going to say how many, they are going to say in which stand number will you find maybe 273 people. Then you know they've given you the number of people in that stand. They just want you to tell what is the stand number. Then you know that the stand number is n. You use that general formula because they've given you the total. Then you just calculate n. Yes, I think, guys, I think we are done with this chapter. I'm telling you, me, I can feel it. I didn't understand it this way when I was in high school. I understood it the same way I understood it an hour before. before I discover this thing of stand numbers and the total number of, I think maybe let me, ngwana ba meja ora gore monna o ikušiše ntwe monna ke tlhalosanya di stand number wa ikušiša Mbali. Let me see. Denzel. Does it make sense, honorable member, this thing of stand numbers and people? Yeah, vakala le nto le.
Yes, sir. It makes sense now. Like I'm getting used to it.
Yes. So let's say maybe let's say tomorrow, guys. I'm begging you. Let's say tomorrow, please. Let's say tomorrow we gather all the questions that we have done under this chapter. Then we just go through the questions to see how they are being asked, and then we ask ourselves: are they actually asking us to calculate the stand number or the number of people staying in there? You will see, guys, it's very, very much easy. Then when it gets to this type of complicated questions, we'll just pray that we do enough. Obviously, it's not our last time doing this chapter. We just pray that we do it again. But one thing for sure, as we don't close, when you guys close in March or whatever, we continue. We never stop. We only stop until your last final exam in November. So possibly next week. Ish. Minentle. I've already erased it, but you can try ask. I'll remember what I've written there. What did you want to ask, honorable member?
So ngifuna ukubuza la bekune-step khona n squared plus 4n minus 1 2 2 1 is equal to 0. Ukuthi sikuthola kanjani lokho? Ngoba
Hey,
ngaphezulu.
lento le ihlangahlangene ngisho kanjani le Minentle? Ihlangahlangene lento le
Okay,
and futhi kakhulu kabi.
Okay, so ngicela ukunika i-step besingaphezulu then mase uyangisubstitutela then khona ngizobona.
Okay, nikeze so. Sithi.
Okay, bekuno 1 over 2n squared. 1 plus 3n.
Oh, 3n. Yeah.
Yes. Minus 2443 over 2. 2443 over 2 plus 1 over 2n squared. 1 over 2n squared plus 1 over 2 equals to 0. Yes, ngicela ngisubstitutela yilapho so that ngizothola n2 plus 4n minus 1 2 to 1 equals to 0.
Oh, okay. Sengiyabona man. Sengiyabona. Okay, let's see. Can you see? We have two of these things that have a cap. Can you see the honorable member?
Yes.
So it's actually half cap, half cap. Is it not one cap? Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's where n squared comes from. So it's actually that half of a Minentle plus half of Minentle. So you know half plus half, it gives you 1, isn't it? Which is that invisible 1 there. It's not necessary to write that 1 there. So now we need to write it in the standard form. What comes next is a number with n. That is why we are having what is it? 3n.
No, sir, we have 4n.
We have 4n.
Yes.
No. Someone will need to explain where that 4n comes from. Yebo.
Mo mopela a ke re ke negative minus 2443 over 2.
Mm. Mm.
Then ke plus 1 over 2n squared. Then ke plus
Plus
n.
1/2. Oh, yes. Maybe, yeah. Maybe honorable member missed an n there. Then you have a plus half,
Mm.
ne?
Mm.
Yes. So that
Oh,
means that
oh,
4n comes from there.
oh,
Yes.
oh,
Okay.
say.
Mm.
Yes, ngiyabona.
Uyayibona manje. And then
Yes.
that and that, it gives you that number, isn't it?
Okay, let me punch
So remember to
in.
say negative that and then plus a half. Then it gives you that number. Anyone who's got a question, Bantu Bagit? I
Oh,
think
say
I'm about
thanks.
to wrap up in 2 minutes. Honorable member Uitolile, that guys, I'm glad this lesson was recorded. So I'm just going to sign out and make sure that yes, it's going to be posted on Monday. That's when it will be posted together with tomorrow and Sunday's lesson. They will be um, posted on Monday. 8 o'clock, I think you guys will be attending your physics lesson. And ma'am said you guys sometime during the week will be writing your test. Okay, guys, who's allowing me to sign out? I think Molebugeng, is Molebugeng still there? It seems like she is gone. Zozozo is. Oh, Molebugeng, do you allow me to sign out a honorable member?
Yes, you can sign off.
Guys, my name is Desmond. Thanks very much for joining. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I'm out.